think a lot of expats leave because they just can't adapt to living in Thailand permanently. I mean, it doesn't suit everyone. And I can talk from this from personal experience. I used to work in schools in Thailand many years, in schools and language centres and all different places. And I met loads and loads of teachers, and it was always like a common joke to, you know, guys that have been working in the school a long time. We'd always joke when a new teacher would come in, you know, can they hack it? Because it is different living in Thailand, especially working in a school in Thailand is very different too. So not only living here, they're working here as well. You know, the culture is very different. And normally within a few days, I'd say to my mate or something, you know, who've been here a while, we're like, it isn't going to last, or she isn't going to last. And we were usually right. They couldn't cope with the different culture, the different way things are done over here. And I think some people are just not suited to living outside of their own country, and they're just not very adaptable. And that's not Thailand's fault, that's your fault. The expat coming here, living here long term, and then expecting to, and not being able to change to a new culture. I'm not saying it's easy to change, it's really hard. And a lot of people can't do this, and a lot of people are not suited to living in a different country. I think it's very challenging. Even myself, I found it hard at times. You know, and I'm a pretty flexible kind of guy. And even I've found at times, I'm like, oh God, again. You know, things have wound me up. I think the most people to moan is the long-term expats here. I think a lot of people come over to Thailand and they're miserable here, but they were probably miserable back in the UK or in England, and they come across here and expected Thailand to make them happy, and it doesn't really work like that. If you're a miserable sod in America, you're going to be a miserable sod in Thailand, probably. And, you know, there are a lot of people that come across thinking Thailand's going to make them feel amazing. No, you need to make yourself feel amazing from within. You can't expect a country to make you feel amazing. Yeah, it's going to help a little bit, but, like, happiness and everything else comes from within, your own attitude towards life. So I think these people, they're moaning online now about, oh, I had enough of Thailand, I'm leaving, I'm going to retire in maybe Vietnam or the Philippines or go back to my own country. But you got to realise they'll probably go back to their own country. They'll be miserable as sin there, and they'll probably be still, you know, typing on social media how unhappy they are there. So I think they're just general people who are just not that happy anywhere, to be honest with you. A lot of expats are actually thinking about leaving and going to Vietnam and Philippines. You know, they're quite popular retirement destinations. I just say that, you know, the grass isn't always greener. Yeah, they might have some positives, but there's also negatives about living in some of these countries. You know, just the same as Thailand, there's always positives and negatives. And, you know, not being able to adapt to a new culture in Thailand, I'm sure they're not going to be able to adapt to a new culture in Vietnam. A new culture in the Philippines, the same. It's going to make no difference whatsoever. They'll probably only be happy if they go home, and then they'll probably still moan. Oh, guys, can you just press the subscribe button? It really helps the channel out. I'm on the road to 10,000 subs, trying to get there before Christmas. Thanks, and back to the video. People are moaning about scams going on a lot in Thailand at the moment. Honestly, I've not seen that many scams myself. Yeah, I know they go on in certain areas, maybe because I'm in a relatively rural area and I've worked here a long time, and I don't put myself in positions to get scammed. You know, I use my common sense, and I think scams go on throughout the world, even in the UK, especially now online. You've got to be careful, you know, online, with all your data, and in real life too. People aren't always honest. That's just the world we live in. If someone asks you, you know, you just met last week and they're asking you to borrow your 20,000 baht, I mean, come on, don't be silly. Why would you lend someone you've only met a week ago 20,000 baht? And the amount of people I've seen in Thailand lend people money who they've known for like a week, because like, oh yeah, he seems all right, you know, met him in the pub, Bob, yeah. Like, what are you doing, mate? Why are you lending this guy money? He's probably just a scammer, or he's not going to pay you back this money. The only person I lend money to is like my wife, which she never asks because she's got a good job, and my family, but they've all got good jobs, so they never ask. I've actually been asked for money a few times in Thailand. I normally just look at them and go, no. It's like, why would I lend you money? I've only just met you, and, you know, why are you asking me? I don't know you that well. You know, maybe ask your family, you know. Will I ever see this money again? And my missus as well. It's quite common in Thai culture and in Asian culture for people to lend each other money and pay them back. And my missus got stung, actually, many years ago. She lent money for someone, I think like 10,000, 20,000 baht. And, you know, she never got it back, and she never, ever lent money to anybody again unless it's family. A lot of people moaning about the cost of living going up in Thailand. Now, Has it gone up over the last few years or the last 10 years? Of course it has. Everywhere in the world has gone up. If you go back to England, America, Australia, look 10 years ago, it's cheaper than it is now. House prices in England are bonkers now. And even 10 years ago, they were semi-bonkers, and now they're completely bonkers. It's just, they're continuously going up. Everything's getting more expensive wherever you live in the world. Nothing's the same as 10, 15 years ago. I wish it was. You know, in Thailand, I wish things were as cheap as they were when I first came over to Thailand. Things were a lot cheaper, can assure you. But I don't really moan about it. I just think, well, it's just the rising cost of living, you know, that's going to happen wherever you live in the world. So some expats are moaning about this, and that's not Thailand's fault. That's just the world. A lot of people are moaning about Patia. It's getting overcrowded now. There's so many tourists there, and it's such a party scene there. Well, that's what Patia is. You know, if you're moaning about that, maybe you shouldn't be living in Patia. I mean, Patia is the party capital of Thailand. I mean, it's the red light district of Thailand, the party capital of Thailand. If I had someone coming here on a stag do, I would say, let's go to Patia and have some fun. Would I want to live there in the centre? No way. But would I live on the outskirts away? Yeah, absolutely. Like 10, 15 minutes out, maybe Najontiem or further away a little bit. Bang Saray and Rayong, you know, quite close, but not right in the party central then. Yeah, for sure I would. But live right in the centre, you know. I think the good option still is, you know, just if you come to one of the big 5 areas, you know, for retirement, or 6, 7 areas there are in Thailand where a lot of people retire to, then, you know, don't live right in the centre. If you live out of that kind of tourist trap, it's fine. Like 15, 20 minutes away, you have a car, you can drive in, drive out. It's there for you if you want it, but it's not there all the time in your face. And you'll find as soon as you leave that kind of right tourist central, it's very Thai. Everything changes, the prices go down, everything's a little bit cheaper, you know, the atmosphere is nicer, I think, and you just get away from all them tourist zones. I think Thais are more happy to see you as well. Sometimes right in the centre, there's tourists everywhere, so they're seeing foreigners like 24/7. Thailand's very safe still. I mean, people saying there's scams and there's thing. I mean, a lot of it's just common sense. If it's too good to be true, don't do it. So if you're an expat thinking about leaving Thailand, think why? Why are you leaving? And think, is it going to actually be any better in the new country that you go to, guys? Okay, put in the comments what you think. What's changed over the last 15 years? I think a lot, you know, even for myself, a lot has changed. And, you know, I wish things could be the way they used to, but they're not, unfortunately. That's just life. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, on my channel, I have another video called Hua Hin in 2025, Where Have All the Tourists Gone? And it looks at, you know, the lack of tourists in Thailand and in Hua Hin at the moment, guys. So you might enjoy that if you've enjoyed this one today, guys. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.